Hello everybody, Dieter back in another video. Alright, my tennis friends all around the world. I actually just came home from work. And I'm pretty tired. But you know, my friends all around the world, I want to make people happy at least as much as possible I can. So I got a comment, I just recently read it, and on that comment one person wrote to me and said, please make a video about Dominic Thiem. He has just announced his retirement. The 2024 season will be his last one, and share your thoughts about that and give your opinion about who is the better player, Cilic or Thiem. So that's it. So I'm here to do a video about Dominic Thiem, about his retirement, and to say who I believe is better, Cilic or Thiem. By the way, because they have pretty similar career and success. Not completely 100% similar, but very much similar. Cilic has won 20 titles, Thiem has won 17 titles, Cilic has won 3 more titles than Thiem. Cilic has won most of 1,000 title, Thiem has also only won most of 1,000 title. Cilic has one Grand Slam title, which is the US Open 2014, and Thiem has also one Grand Slam title, which is the same Grand Slam title as Cilic, the US Open. So both of these two guys has won the US Open. Thiem won the US Open 2020. By the way, that was Thiem's last title in his career. I don't think he will win anymore. For me, Thiem is better player than Cilic. I will say it right now, right here, so we get to give my opinion about that. The reason, they have similar careers. Cilic is a little more successful with 20 titles and Thiem with 17, and both of them have, by the way, Thiem has 4 Grand Slam finals, Cilic has 3 Grand Slam finals, so Thiem has 1 more Grand Slam final than Cilic, but the reason why I picked Thiem being better than Cilic is because, let's face it, Thiem, when he had his hot years, and when he was in his peak of his career, which was not many years, but it was between, when was Thiem in his peak of his career? Between 2018 to 2020. So I should say 3 years, because it was in those 3 years he played 4 finals, 4 Grand Slam finals. 2018 he played the French Open final first time. 2019, which he lost against Nadal, of course, in the final. Who didn't lose against Nadal in French Open finals? Everybody. 2019, the year later, he played the French Open final again. So he played 2 consecutive French Open finals in 2 years, 2018 and 2019. Dominic Thiem, of course, lost to Nadal once again in that French Open final 2019. Dominic Thiem, so he played his second French Open final in 2 years there, 2018 and 2019. Dominic Thiem lost both those French Open finals against Rafael Nadal. And then 2020, he played the Australian Open final against Novak Djokovic, an epic, great Australian Open final according to me, where he led 2-1, when he had the lead 2-1 lead against Djokovic in that Australian Open final. But Djokovic, the Australian Open machine that he is, with nowadays 10 Australian Open titles, which was not 10 back then, but it is 10 now for Djokovic. He came back and turned that match around and won it in 5 sets after being 2-1 down against Dominic Thiem in sets, Djokovic. So, and then in the same year, 2020, Thiem played his 4 Grand Slam final, which was the US Open in the same year, 2020, and finally won his first and only Grand Slam title. And also that Grand Slam title 2020, it also became his last title in his career, because he has not finished his career today, but he will finish it in the late year of in this season, after the season is over. But I'm not counting the team will win any titles the entire year 2024. So who could know back then, 4 years ago, that US Open title 2020 will be his last title? For sure, I never believed that. But what I believed, not back then, not in that moment, by the way, that finally won against Zverev 2020, he was 2-0 down, and he came back to win it in 5 sets, which was a great effort from Thiem. But what I believe, not immediately after he won that US Open final 2020 against Zverev, but 1 year or 1 year and a half later, I actually believe that he will be a one slam wonder, and I actually had right in that prediction. And you guys who don't believe me can go back and watch that video 1 year and a half, 2 years ago. 2 years ago, back in 2022, I did a video about Thiem. I said, will Dominic Thiem be a one slam wonder, a la Cilic, a la Del Potro, a 5-minute video? And I said yes. And I actually watched that video a couple of days ago, and I was reading the comment. It's always funny to read the comment 2-3 years later, and 80% of the comments that you guys wrote, you guys were agreeing with me, and 20%, I should say, some of you was not agreeing with me. Some of you were saying, no, you will be wrong. You are definitely wrong here, Inter. You are I will not agree with you. I respect that. Not everybody needs to agree with me, but I was accurate in that prediction. So Dominic Thiem, he proved me right. He became a one slam wonder. And when it comes to prediction, man, I have been right because I do predictions a lot, and I'm not right in all the predictions. For instance, I was right about Federer. I said, will Federer win any more Grand Slam titles 3-4 years ago? I said no, he won't, especially after that Wimbledon final 2019, when he had 2 match points against Djokovic. I did videos after that. I said he will never win any Grand Slam titles anymore. This was his last chance. I was right about him. So majority of my predictions, I have been right. Not all of them, but majority. I've said that neither Nadal or Djokovic will win 25 Grand Slam titles. Nadal have proved me right. Djokovic is 1 Grand Slam title away of proving me wrong. Let's see if Djokovic can win 1 more and prove me wrong. I've said Nadal will not win any more majors. Let's see if he can prove me wrong or right there. I believe he will prove me right there, that I don't think he will win any more majors, Nadal. I did a video about that last year. And I did a video 2 weeks ago. I said Nadal will not win any more tennis tournaments in his career. And let's see if he can prove me right or wrong there as well. So it sure looks like Nadal will not win any more tennis tournaments. It sure looks like that. So I believe he will prove me right there, Nadal. So majority of my predictions have actually been right. So anyway, why is Thiem better than Cilic? It's simple. Thiem is the 3rd player of all the players in tennis history who has most victories against the big 3. I know if you guys know this, but if you don't, I will inform you that now. He has 16 victories against the big 3, 5 against Federer. He leads Federer 5-2 in the head-to-head. 5 against 5 against Djokovic. I believe Djokovic leads Thiem 9-6 in the head-to-head. 5 against. He has 5 against Djokovic. I know. 5 against Federer. 5 against Djokovic, and he has 6 victories against Nadal. Dominic Thiem. So in total, Thiem has 16 victories against the big 3. He's in the 3rd all-time list here. He shares this this spot together with Tsonga. Tsonga has also 16 victories against the big three, Djokovic, Nadal and Federer. On the second place with most victories against the big three is Juan Martín del Potro with 17 victories. And the first place who has the most victories against the big three, he's by far the player. Nobody's close to him who has defeated the big three the most of all the players in the history. Is of course Andy Murray with 29 victories against the big three. So if you look at Cilic has defeated Federer only once. Federer leads Cilic 10-1 in the head-to-head. Djokovic, he leads Cilic 19-2. Djokovic has more or less destroyed Cilic 19-2 in the head-to-head. So Cilic has only 2 victories against Djokovic in 21 meetings. That makes it to 3 victories: 1 against Federer, 2 against Djokovic, 3, and Cilic has also 2 victories against Nadal. I believe Nadal leads Cilic in the head-to-head 7-2. Yeah, I believe 7-2. So Cilic has 5 victories against the big three: 2 against Nadal, 2 against Djokovic, and 1 against Federer. In matches where he has faced them, let me count right here, he has faced Federer 10 times, he has faced Djokovic 19 times, which makes it to 29 matches. Not 19. I'm sorry, not 21. He has faced that 21 times. Cilic has faced Djokovic 21 times. He's down in the head-to-head 19-2, 31 times. He has faced Federer 11 times, 32 meetings. And then with Nadal 7-2, he's down in the head-to-head against Nadal. 32 meetings, and then Nadal 9 matches, 41 meetings. If I'm counting right here, if my math is not letting me down. In 41 meetings that Cilic has faced Nadal, Djokovic and Federer combined, he has defeated these three only 5 times. 2 times Djokovic, 2 times Nadal, and only 1 time Federer. Compared with Thiem, who has defeated the big three 16 times, he's in the 3rd all-time list, the 3rd place which he shares with Tsonga, and he's only 1 match behind Del Potro, who has defeated the big three 17 times, and then Murray, who is superior of all the players in defeating the big three with 29 victories. So Thiem is a better player than Cilic. All right. So that is my opinion. So you have wrote that comment to me. I hope you are satisfied with my answer. Thiem is the better player than Cilic. Despite that, Cilic has 3 more titles than Thiem, but Thiem was much more successful against the big three than Cilic has ever been. What can I say about Thiem and his retirement? This was not a surprise. I actually was talking with a friend of mine 1 month ago, and he's a tennis nerd like me, big Federer fan, also like me. Me and him was talking about Thiem, and we were saying that he will most likely retire later this year. And it is exactly what is happening. I thought that Thiem will be one slam wonder back in 2022, not back in 2020. I didn't think so. But back in 2022, I thought he will be one slam wonder, which I did a video about that. and I was right about that. But I never thought the US Open will be his last title that he won in his career. Never in my mind did I believe that. I don't think that nobody of the other you guys who are watching this video believe that either. So he winning the US Open back in 2020 and that being his last title in his career, that is for me a huge surprise. Huge surprise. Because, like I said at the beginning of the video, between 2018 and 2020, those 3 years, 2018, 2019, 2020, were those 3 years were his peak of his career. His peak was not for a very long time. It was not like he was in his peak of his career for 7, 8 years. It was 3, maximum 4 years. It for sure didn't look like that 2020 US Open title and his maiden Grand Slam title will be his last tennis title in his career overall. So we are all surprised about that, let's be honest. But after his wrist injury, he never came back to his full potential like he was back in 2018, 2019 and 2020. His forehand just was not, he couldn't unleash that forehand like he used to, especially was doing a lot of unforced errors. I've seen his matches a little after his injury comeback. I've not seen him much because he was losing a lot of first rounds. He was even losing challenger matches early, let alone him being a big threat in that ATP tournaments, which he wasn't, of course not. So he was not doing deep rounds for me to check him out, because you need to do deep rounds for me as a tennis analyst to watch what you're doing. So after his injury, after his comeback, I have not seen him play much tennis, to be honest, but that little that I've seen about him, his forehand has not looked good. His returns has never been good, to be quite honest, but after the comeback, after the injury, they looked even more weak than they used to be. But what I could see mostly, what I could notice mostly after his injury, he was lacking a lot of unforced errors. So he has been losing a lot of tennis matches the last 2 years. He has actually been playing tennis the last 2 years. He's not been super injured the last 2 years, at least if I'm not mistaken. So, but he has not been successful. And then we have had the rise of Alcaraz, Sinner. The competition has become more stiffer. He just doesn't have the level anymore. He just doesn't have the level. Guys, when you play this brutal sport like tennis, tennis is a brutal sport. That's why what Federer, Nadal, and Djokovic have done, to win this many tournaments that they have done. Federer, 103 tournaments he has won in total in his career. Djokovic, 98 titles in total in his career. Nadal, 92 titles in total in his career. Just to mention the tournaments that they have won. I'm not mentioning all other stuff that they have won, like Grand Slams, like Masters, like world number 1 in weeks, and etc. What they have done, Djokovic, Nadal, and Federer. It is out of this world what they have done. That is not normal. We will never witness players like Djokovic, Nadal, and Federer in our lifetime. I am brave enough to say this. Look at players like Alcaraz and Sinner. They are 21 years old, I believe Alcaraz is. Sinner is 22 years old. They're already injured. Look at Alcaraz. He is injured almost every month. Alcaraz, almost. And they are 21, 22 years old. Alcaraz 21, Sinner 22. Just imagine how Alcaraz and Sinner will look like 5 years from now. Just imagine. That's why when people say that Alcaraz and Sinner will be double-digit Grand Slam winners, they should be careful. Because tennis is a brutal sport. It is not only being successful, you need to be healthy as well. So what Djokovic, Nadal, and Federer has done, and to play tennis this long, and to be healthy this long, especially Djokovic and Federer, Nadal, he has had a lot of injuries. So I give it to him. But Djokovic and Federer, they have been much more healthier than Nadal has been. In this brutal murder sport, they are insane. They are they are almost or not from this planet. Of course, they are from this planet, but what they have done, that is not normal. We cannot believe or expect that other players will do the same. We will never witness players like Nadal, Federer, and Djokovic ever in our lifetime. Forget that Sinner or Alcaraz will ever be 20 plus Grand Slam winners. Forget that. That will never happen. That will never, ever, ever happen. I'm even doubtful that Sinner and Alcaraz will ever be double-digit Grand Slam winners, and only because of their bodies, not because of the levels. Because the level is there. But I'm really, really doubtful that they will be healthy enough to come to that double-digit Grand Slam numbers. But winning 20 plus majors, Sinner and Alcaraz, they will never do it. Never, ever. So Thiem retiring is a very sad news, but it was expected, especially after seeing him getting beat up from more or less every single tournament in early rounds. So he doesn't have the motivation to go and fly all around the world and lose first rounds. It doesn't work. He's not poor, he's rich, he's a millionaire, but he loses a lot of money as well. Traveling around, paying a lot of flying tickets and hotels and coaches and all that stuff, and losing early. That doesn't, in the long run, you will not be able to have that kind of tennis career. You need to have some kind of success to be able to fly all around the world and play tennis, and that is not what has happened to Thiem the last 2 years. He has not been able to do that. He has traveled all around the world just to lose first, second, or third rounds. So sad news for Thiem, but not a surprise that he's retiring. But what was surprised was that the US Open title 4 years ago became his last tennis title in his career. That I was not expecting. But him being a one slam wonder, I actually expected that back in 2022. So there you have my opinions about Dominic Thiem and his announcement to retire later this year. A sad news. He was a big threat for the big three, Nadal, Djokovic, and Federer, when he was in the peak of his career. He is the third. He is the player who has defeated the big three third most times, together with Tsonga. So, and he's a better player than Marin Cilic, according to me. Alright guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, give it a thumbs up, subscribe, peace!